October 1, 2024, Nigeria marked its 64th Independence Day, but this year's celebration was different. While some Nigerians waved their flags and sang the national anthem, many others flooded the streets in protest, angry and frustrated. They weren't just protesting for fun, these people were hungry, jobless, and tired of bad governance. They called it the National Day of Survival, a powerful name that showed just how serious things had become. In different parts of the country, Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt, protesters came together, holding signs that screamed for change. Their faces were filled with determination, and their voices echoed through the streets, chanting, "Enough is enough." They were tired of the same old promises from the government, especially under President Bola Tinubu's leadership. Some of the signs read, "We need jobs. Food is too expensive," and "End bad governance now." But not everyone was happy about the protest. The government had placed police officers and security forces everywhere. They even fired tear gas at the crowds to break them up. This didn't scare the protesters, though. In Lagos, for instance, when the police tried to chase them away, the people stood their ground, some covering their faces with cloth to protect themselves from the tear gas. In Abuja, a few clashes between the police and the protesters got intense. You could feel the tension in the air, like a thick cloud about to burst. The streets were buzzing with energy, but also fear, what would happen next? At the heart of it all was the frustration people felt about the high cost of living. Many Nigerians couldn't afford basic things like food and transportation anymore. Since President Tinubu took office in May, his government had introduced reforms that were supposed to help the country grow, bringing in foreign investments. They said $30 billion had come in from foreign countries, but it didn't seem to help the average person on the street. Instead, prices kept rising, and the naira, Nigeria's currency, kept losing value. In a speech, President Tinubu asked Nigerians to be patient. He said that things would get better soon and promised to hold a big meeting for the country's youth to talk about how to fix things. But many people didn't want to wait any longer. They were tired of hearing the same speech year after year. They wanted action, not more promises. The protests didn't just stay in the streets, they also spread across social media. Young people used platforms like TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram to share videos, photos, and stories of what was happening. Some people showed the harsh response from the police, while others told emotional stories about how hard life had become. One woman shared how she couldn't feed her children anymore because everything was too expensive. Another young man talked about losing his job and being unable to find a new one. This post touched many hearts and made the protest even bigger. But as the protest continued, the government's reaction grew stronger. Security forces had been told to be strict and not allow things to get out of hand. In some places, protesters were arrested. In others, people were injured trying to escape the tear gas and rubber bullets. Human rights groups quickly spoke out, warning the government to be careful. They said that everyone had the right to protest peacefully and that the police shouldn't hurt people just for speaking up. Meanwhile, the rest of the country watched, holding their breath. Would the protests continue? Would the government listen to the people's cries? Or would things get even worse? There was so much suspense, and it felt like anything could happen next. Some families were scared to leave their homes, worried that they might get caught in the chaos. Others joined the protest, saying that they would rather fight for their future than stay silent. As the day went on, the protest continued in different parts of the country. The government tried to assure everyone that they were listening, but many Nigerians weren't convinced. They had heard it all before. This time, they wanted real change, and they weren't going to stop until they got it. And so, Nigeria's 64th Independence Day ended, not with joyful celebrations, but with a clear message: the people were tired, the nation was struggling, and something had to change. The streets were still buzzing with the echoes of the protest long after the sun had set, leaving everyone wondering what the next day would bring. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.